So Jeremy, what are some of the major trends you're seeing in application awareness in the mobile comm space?
So what we're seeing is we're seeing a migration from traditional application awareness used for passive traffic and subscriber analytics to developing a more active, more adaptive network. So embedding application awareness technology in more and more network elements so that network operators can cope with extremely varying demands on the resource they have in the network. So we have an adaptable, scalable network that is able to roll out and deploy network services very, very quickly. So we're seeing not only that, but a migration from deployment of application awareness in the core of the network more to the edge of the network. And therefore, you naturally get a more proliferation of that.
So what role does application awareness play in not only network planning or network resource planning, but also service enablement and then security?
So security is a really interesting application. So to develop security applications for mobile network technology, application awareness is extremely critical for detection of malware, universal threat management, and this is something that is becoming increasingly important as we see the emergence of IoT, where the consequences of compromised network security become more and more critical. So therefore, we're seeing cybersecurity and using application awareness to ensure cybersecurity as not just a luxury, as an essential thing to ensure the future going forward.
So talk a little bit about how Rodeo Sports really addresses some of these specific trends we talked about in application awareness, particularly in the mobile communication area.
Right, so from the perspective of Rodeo Sports, what we're really focusing on is developing the highest performing available software that our customers can embed in their network elements, and really to make it easy for them to deploy it, easy for them in terms of the amount of resources that it uses, and also very critical with the trend in the core is it must be able to be deployed in a virtual environment with no degradation in performance.
So help me understand, carriers are moving to software-defined networks and they're moving to virtualized networks, which means there'll be triggers to automatically resource load based upon where people are, the type of applications they're using. How does application awareness
enable that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the application awareness gives you visibility of the traffic, gives you visibility in trends in the traffic, so you can react real time to changing resource demands, and you can embed it in anything where there's a switch in the network, anywhere where you need to make a decision about routing the traffic, even blocking the traffic, the security applications. So that's really the role to develop that reactive network that's able to be dynamically applied resources in a virtual environment.
So is your solution pushed to the edge, or is it more of a centralized solution?
It's both. It's both. You can deploy it on any generic server. Traditionally it's been deployed in the core, but as I mentioned earlier, more and more to the edge. So you can even embed it in small cells, consumer premises equipment. So it's becoming generally migrating to the edge of the network, but it's still deployed in the core.
Okay. So what do you see over the next 12 to 18 months? What's the future of application awareness in mobile comms?
So what we would anticipate is more and more focus on network security. So particularly, as I mentioned, with IoT, but in particular industrial IoT, and we would probably see a diversification in the type of customers that would use it. So anybody with a facility where compromised security would have serious consequences, could be a government organization, manufacturing facility, energy generation, any part of critical infrastructure. So this is how we would anticipate more and more focus on application awareness.
So we generally meet every year here at Mobile World Congress. What types of conversations are you having this year with your carrier customers, maybe versus last year?
Really, we've gone beyond that kind of LTE, deployment of LTE, to really more, not only the monetization, but really preparing the future for a virtualized network. So those are the type of conversations customers, they know they should care about security, but they're not really sure about exactly how to do it, so they want to find out. So most of the customers we're interacting with this year at Mobile World Congress, security seems to be a recurring theme, and people need to understand how application awareness can help deliver the security that they need.